Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack. Here's Jack.
What do you want with me? Stop
Nothing.
looking at me.
Nothing. Like what? WTF? I'm on time. Let it be known. Let it be written. Let it be done.
All right.
You know, you're almost worth that. Quinn Natal did the impossible. He makes you almost worth looking at, having that sign behind you. That's pretty good. How's everything at the library this morning?
The library is doing real well. We got the newspapers on the front stoop.
Excellent. Speaking of the newspaper, our guest is in the newspaper today.
Oh, did Carla make the
Yep.
pages?
Page 2, big time news.
Excellent. We got a page 2 guest today.
That's right.
We got a page 1 guest. You'd have gotten someone from like Amcaster. Something like that, you know, something controversial.
Or the guy getting shot in a police standoff in Mequon.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That didn't go well.
Don't do that. Don't get into a standoff with the cops. No.
If you don't stop, we'll shoot you. But what about whatever? See, I'm wired. When I hear that, I do exactly what is asked of me.
You're wired weird that way?
I am. I'm strange.
I'm enjoying some excellent Italian roast.
Yeah. Good for you.
Like today's double punch day at Java House.
Oh, are you jumping? You're getting into them already? All right, hang on. All right, here we go.
And it's $1. I'm so excited. I brought a visual aid and an audio aid. Can you hear that?
I can hear it. I can see it.
Beans to make, you know, you don't even need, what are those things you stick in your outlets to make the place smell better? And
I'm not answering that.
Glade, something. All you need, you don't need that. All you need is some. They not only are they the best effing beans in the world, they smell your up, make your house smell good.
Yeah.
So there.
Well, I couldn't hurt a house that you're occupying to cover up the smell,
the stench.
No, officer, that's coffee. I swear.
No, it's not. It is fish pudding.
Fish pudding.
No fish pudding.
Better than a nice salmon parfait.
Oh, yeah. Donkey wouldn't even like parfait, salmon parfait. AJ will talk about the Brewers being in fish pudding last night, and they stunk it up big time. But anyway, yes, Java House. So get over there today. Double punch. Ooh, I like the effect.
It's homemade.
Hey, don't talk like that. That's what she said. Mr. Bob's. Did you get my message? Woo! Another visual aid.
Blurry, a little too blurry. I gotta get a better one there. That one's not gonna work too good.
Thursday, 5:30.
Yes.
I sent you a note. You didn't respond. Mr. Bob.
I didn't. My lack of response should be perceived as acceptance. Yes, it's fine.
Thursday at 5:30.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be shooting a segment of Mr. Bob to play here on the radio. Mr. Bob has a full-time gig, so he can't appear in person live.
Right on.
So we're gonna bring him in.
Yes.
So that's great. And we talked up another good place yesterday. It was Advocates of Ozaki, courtesy of Dr. Jim Bone. He was fun, wasn't he? He was a great guest.
Every time he's on, he's great.
You got that voice.
One of those dream guests.
He is. What do you dream? You dream about guests? You dream about?
I do. I dream about cancellation.
You freak.
I dream about getting my mornings back, getting my life back. These are my dreams.
Some young'un brought up. Who was it? I'll have to think of it. But a young lady, way too young to have watched it live, brought up "I Dream of Jeannie" the other day in conversation. I'm like,
someone was raised right. Someone had good parenting.
What a terrible show.
I love Dream of Jeannie. Only because Howard Borden's in it. Come on.
I know. Is it? And it's what's his name too? Larry Hagman, right?
Yeah, Hagman's the foil.
The foil, and what was her name? Barbara Eden.
Barbara Eden, still with us.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That was something.
They,
What was the Colonel's?
Oh boy, it's been a long time. What's his name? Author, kind of romance suspense author. Sidney Sheldon was like one of the main creators and writers in that show.
Shut up.
Yeah, true.
No, man. Cool. So there. I don't know how we got on I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, because you were dreaming of guests. That's
I was
why.
dreaming of guests. Yes.
You never know. Who would have guessed we'd be talking about Barbara Eden today
And
still
her
being
name
with us. Okay.
she wasn't allowed to show it.
Really?
Yeah, she had to keep her navel covered up. Network censor said, there'll be no belly button on our network.
I'm not a big. I mean, belly button I can do without. But
I were a raging fan.
Why was that outlawed?
There are standards.
But who set the standard? What standard is that?
Probably the advertiser, some holy roller who was just like, "Did you know that navels are of the devil?"
I'm surprised some companies didn't come on.
That would been a great on my books over here.
that would be a great promotion for a navel lint cleaner to sponsor.
They make that. Does that product exist?
No, it would be great. That's what you got to be creative. You got to think outside the box. A navel lint cleaner could have sponsored I Dream of Jeannie, and
all these years I just been using this phone. I didn't know there were products out there. My God,
I don't know if there are, but it'd be perfect product placement.
Innie, outie, lefty, righty. We'll make it cleany.
With I Dream of Jeannie. Da, 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 da. Got a clean navel. Da, 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 da.
Wow. Nothing but the best.
Start your morning right. Lintless. Go lintless.
You the testimonials for 9 years I've been collecting lint. I made a sofa out of all the lint I collected, but now I'm better.
There would have to be a little disclaimer at the bottom. This does not mean most 99.9% of Americans should show their navels.
No.
No. Please do not.
That guy in the 80s used to wear like a big top hat. It would come down to about here, and then you have eyes, and then he'd move his belly, and looked like his navel was whistling.
Oh, yeah. Gong show kind of thing, right?
Yeah, he's show up like a real people, and that's incredible, and although it's quality entertainment. Skip Stevens.
Like it's the Gong show.
Here's a wild navel.
And then we could have McHale's navel. That could be another one.
Get that thing out, McHale.
Then we could have the what's their names? The village people singing "In the Navel."
All right, get to Mel.
They want you. They want you. They want you as a clean navel.
Get to Mel's charities. Get enough of your navel gazing.
Navel gaze. Oh God. Oh boy. Navel. That's a interesting dealio. All right.
Serious dad jokes this morning.
Do you say navel or do you say belly button?
I keep it with navel. Belly button sounds way too, like
lowbrow.
Like you're a dock worker or something. Yeah.
Oh. So. I didn't know Thurston Howell was recruited to talk about McHale's navel.
Lovey, I'm very much into your belly button.
Literally.
I could drink a martini out of that.
You can take your thumb out of my ass anytime now, Carmine. That's another one.
Don't forget to garnish it first. Didn't know we'd be going off this rail this morning. You just never can predict what a Tuesday will bring.
Well, Lisa Curtis isn't here.
I know.
Terena since.
Thank God. Oh my God. All my coworkers are like on Tuesdays. Just there you go. And with the shake of the coffee, we get to Mel's charities. Let's go.
Mel's. June 10th is coming up. Get on board and help sponsor Zach DeBoer. He's running a 100-mile ultra marathon. Zach just turned 30, and if you can help support Mel's and the many Ozaki County charities they support by pitching in as part of the Zach DeBoer Ultra Marathon, 100 miles. Wow.
100 miles. My
That's I wonder how long that'll take him. I'm sure you can get all that kind of information.
Yeah.
Check out melscharities.org for more information.
One more time. What's the date of that?
June 10th.
June 10th. Why aren't we having him on the show prior or after? He asked pointedly.
I think he's got naval issues.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, does he have standards or something?
If he's hanging out with Mel, not. We don't have to worry about that. For God's sake. You got Mel, Rossman, Andy.
Quite a crowd.
Quite a crowd. Today is National Taffy Day. Yeah, me too. It's made
Fine.
It's made with butter and sugar.
Those two things
boiled water. No, not butter. Boiled water. Something. I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It was invented in Atlantic City in like 1883 or something like that. Are you a taffy? You're not a taffy person.
Not with these teeth, baby. It'd be $1,000 piece of taffy.
When I was a kid, what was it? Tangy Taffy. Do you ever remember that stuff?
I liked that as a kid. I mean, how could you not? And Laffy Taffy wasn't too bad.
Laffy Taffy.
The jokes were, groaners, but that's okay. They didn't have really good writers on the rappers. And that was a writer's strike.
That's right.
The rappers are joke free. I probably like it better now.
No more Laffy Taffy. That's gonna end the strike. That's the leverage they needed. Laffy Taffy.
Now it's morose taffy.
Morose. Not sad. No. Not crying. Not boo-hooing taffy. Morose taffy. Because you're a moron. You are a moron.
Devastating taffy. You open the wrapper up and it says, "Do you truly appreciate the smallness of your life?"
Oh.
So there you go.
You need to drink more coffee, I think.
Working on it.
It's not a big enough cup. Well, I think we should bring in our fearless leader and see what he has to say.
The
about
man
Laffy
we
Taffy.
actually work for.
I wonder if he will even know what Laffy Taffy is. He's too young, I think.
No, I think Laffy Taffy is pretty ubiquitous. It's ubiquitous,
Really?
Taffy. Yes. Here we go. The man who brings the sports because the sports bring the man. AJ Bocchini.
What's up, boys?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
I'm glad you're still sporting that blue and yellow flag behind you there.
Yeah.
I thought you would have, in a fit of rage, ripped it off your wall, brought chunks of plaster with it.
I have to sadly say I was right again.
Wait a minute. That's how you began your report yesterday.
I came on the air yesterday and said we're going to get our ass kicked.
Do we have a recording of yesterday's show that we can check?
I may have to start.
Check the tape.
Yes, I'm calling New York. We're going to check the tape.
Yeah. No video review on this one, boys.
All right.
Did you watch it? Here's the critical question.
I did.
Oh,
I listened. It was great because I will say Euchre was fun. He said, "Oh, that's that's going way back. Yeah, that's out of here." he sounded really dejected.
Games like that are really dangerous because they give Euchre an opportunity to be even worse than usual because you have to come up with things to talk about.
Hey, Jack.
You love it.
Hey, Jack. We all know he's secretly cussing and just hitting the cough button.
Yeah, that's right. Do his best, Harry Doyle.
We could have used a cough button this morning. Bulldog took off on navels.
Yeah, I heard.
It's a small weakness. What can I say?
By the way, for those of you who think for those of you listening out there, I have heard of Laffy Taffy before.
Oh, all right.
Go me.
Have you ever had? Are you a taffy fan, AJ?
Yes.
You have a lot of it.
Banana.
Oh,
the exotic one. All right.
Banana Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Maybe the jokes are better in that one. I usually avoid banana.
Yeah. Jokes are better. Jokes are always good. Hey, jokes are always good on Tuesday morning because I go to counseling on Tuesday morning. So
Oh, very all right.
jokes are always good on Tuesday morning.
We'll keep you rolling. What else you got? Nice little news out of Green Bay,
Hey! Lead story number
Segway
one.
master.
Lead story number one. By the way, did you guys hear the other news attached to that?
No.
Mark Murphy is retiring, so this is his kumbaya.
Oh wow.
Kumbaya?
That they didn't mention this morning on the radio news. Wow. Okay.
They said he will retire July 13th of 2025,
Huh.
which is right after the draft.
Of course. So when the shit hits the fan about Green Bay not being able to host it correctly, he's going to be out.
But I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I'll be 33. It'll be prime time for me to go to the draft, and it'll be fun.
Wait till the NFL learns. They're like, wait a minute. They have like 2 Wendy's and a Midway Motor Lodge. That's it. That's all Green Bay has.
What's this Krolls I hear about?
I love Krolls.
All I gotta say is, please, Green Bay, please put it in our season ticket package. Please put it in our. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
That's all you ask.
3 days, 7 rounds, and I hope the beer. I gotta say this. I hope the beer isn't free because that will cost us a lot of money.
No, it's not. Beer's not going to be free. Are you insane? What, AJ? If you can, since you're a season ticket holder, and they say, all right, you can go to all 3 days of the draft. Would you go to all 3 days?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you are a glutton.
Here's Krolls.
When I sit through all 262 picks, no.
No.
But I would go. You know what the draft is really?
What is it?
It's a giant tailgate party.
True.
Really?
It's what it is.
I'd have a good time. Okay. Now you're
Look
talking.
at the people in Kansas City, how they did it this year. They weren't by the 3rd day they weren't paying attention to the draft. They were like, "Yay, let's have free drinks."
AJ is excited. His voice is up 1 octave, not the 2, but it's 1 octave talking about this.
I'm very excited.
That's good.
There was a hoax out there that they were going to get the 2024 draft last year, and that didn't happen. So I'm happy they get the 2025.
Man. Well, wait till the visitors visit Green Bay. They're going to think it is a hoax because they're going to go, where?
There's nothing here.
All right, if you go on the west side of the town, you can do curling. I think you can.
We have to stay,
curling.
we have to stay in Appleton. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean there are 2 motels and they're all filled up?
What do you mean it's all Super 8s around here?
Super 8s.
We got exotic wildlife here. You know those centipedes that show up in the stairwell there? We got those. So,
Yeah, there's not much. Lodge Kohler might get reservations tomorrow for that.
Could be.
They already have some. You can count on it.
No, we must not slander our friends in Green Bay anymore.
I'm excited. In all seriousness, I'm excited. It's going to make $94 million for the economy.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, state of Wisconsin's going to benefit
Green Bay, so it's going to be awesome.
Without a doubt.
It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be fun. So
absolutely.
I'm really excited.
What's going on with them? Their hoop shooters there, AJ?
Well, we got the Lakers got swept last night.
Yes.
I think you called that one too, didn't you?
I did call that one.
I think you called that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to refer to the tape.
The Lakers got swept last night. Jokic was dominating himself. And it was good.
I think I've got a new name for Denver's team because they're so underappreciated, disrespected. They're kind of always there in the really good stuff, but don't get the press that they deserve. I think we should call them the Denver Nougats because Nougats are in a candy bar and it never gets any credit. Same thing with Denver.
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, of course it's really good. Who do you think you're talking to?
No, I mean the Nougats I was talking about, not the Nuggets.
I like the Nougats. All right. Well, that's great. They're trying to make a big deal.
Way, I'm calling it right now. Nugs in 6.
Really? Well, what about? Well, first let's not get off the Lakers because they're out. Do you think LeBron is going to milk this all the way that he can to get more attention to see if he's going to retire or not?
No, I think he's done.
You don't think he's coming back?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And I'll tell you why. I actually have a reason for this.
Okay, that's good to have a reason
Bronny's
for what you say.
Bronny's going to be a freshman at USC.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce is going to be a senior.
Okay.
And Bryce has already made the decision that he's leaving Sierra Canyon,
Okay.
which is his high school. Which
Okay.
means Brian could go back to Cleveland if he wanted to. Not to play. I'm just saying go back to Cleveland in general.
No.
No. They'll probably stay in Hollywood so they can go to Bronny's games. But Bronny's only going to be there for a year, so.
Right. Yeah. LeBron's not going to retire. He wants to play. He said he wanted to play with his son.
I don't know. I don't know if he physically can, though.
I'm not a LeBron fan, as you know, but he's still better than 60% of the league.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
at 38.
Yeah, to the.
So he could still play. It's just a question of how much does he want to play as his age increases and his skills diminish.
Yeah.
Which I can't see him giving it up. He craves the attention too much.
Yeah, he does. I think he'll milk it though, for real. To be honest with you.
Okay.
The other major story out of the NBA yesterday, and it's not a major. He wasn't a big time NBA player. He was a big time NBA player, but he wasn't as good in the NBA as he was in the Olympics. It's Carmelo's retirement. Carmelo, for those of you who don't remember, he was the better Olympic player than he was. I think he was a better Olympic player than he was an NBA player.
Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement yesterday. Yeah, he was. You could make that argument. He also was
three golds and a bronze.
He also was a great college player. He only played the 1 year, and the 1 year he did.
1 year, and the facility, I learned this yesterday at Syracuse, the practice facility is named after him at Syracuse.
Well, it's the only championship they won. It's the only year that he was there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
He saved Boeheim's bacon for about 20 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Got him some. So, will you miss Carmelo? Did you like watching him play?
I did, especially when he was with the Nuggets. Not with the Knicks as much because he was more of an ISO player then.
Yeah.
But he was more of an ISO. I saw this one stat line, Jack. I don't know how true this is. He had 62 points and nothing else. No assists, no rebounds, no steals. 62 points and nothing else.
No turnovers?
Oh, plenty of turnovers.
Okay. All right. Well, I got one other thing about all the basketball and the hooky. You always ignore the hooky. We're at a potentially historic time in sports.
All three are 3-0, right? Or it could be.
All three, and then the fourth, the other series, the Nuggets beat the Lakers 4-0. The Heat lead the Celtics 3-0. Panthers lead the Hurricanes 3-0. And the Golden Knights lead the Stars 2-0.
Yes, sir.
It could be the first time ever that all the conference finals were decided by sweeps. Sweep.
Yeah.
To that end, did you want me to run that video, Jack?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's show them from the Nuggets. You missed it. We're renaming the Denver Nuggets the Denver Nougats because they're underappreciated.
By the way, I will make one hockey reference here. Jack Eichel is really good at hockey. Gotta
love Jack.
From Vegas?
I'm not sure you guys are talking about the same thing here. Anyway, here's a little nougat.
Check out this shot.
Falling away, puts it up.
Sweet. Piece of art.
Gotta love.
That'll work.
Gotta love the bang at the end. That was awesome.
He just goes
swish.
That was awesome.
This is very beautiful.
I was like, Jokic is a guy. No disrespect. This is not a disrespectful comment at all. He'll be 50 in a YMCA in Serbia and still getting buckets.
Me too.
Do they have YMCAs in Serbia?
My point exactly. They'll find it.
They will now.
They will now.
We're breaking ground next month.
That was
imagine the snack bar. They're very exotic, Serbian foods. Be a lot of sausages.
sausages. You have
Oh,
gyros,
absolutely.
all kinds of lamb stuff. Ooh,
There you go.
For
Yes.
real though, no disrespect, he is a great player. He is a awesome transcendent. He's not transcendent because I would say he's transcendent in the way he plays, but just his skill set to go with his body type is just amazing.
I love it when AJ gets esoteric like this. He's transcending. It's like it's a whole. We're going to next level sportscast here. This is like the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi bringing us sports.
The what?
I'll email it to you. So
Yeah, send a definition of that.
if you will, it is no dream.
It's authors. By the way, I have some breaking news here.
It's broken. All right.
No game on June 7th, so I can come to the author circle.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, good, excellent. We have one of our authors in the wings who has a book releasing today. Very exciting. So.
We got to ask Carla if she's in on the woman who wrote the child's grief book who killed her husband. We got to see if she wants, if she'll allow
Are you
her
lumping
in.
all authors? You're an author. You're as guilty as the one who killed her husband.
We're trying to get as many endorsements for that as possible.
Yes. She needs all the help she can get. She can get a jury of her peers.
If Carla says yes, she's in. Carla's the most prolific author in the group, so she's got the biggest vote. So if she says yes, that we can virtually beam her in from the state pen in Utah.
In Utah.
I'll tell you, it's great for sales. I mean, you write a book and it just kind of lays there. And it's like, what can I do to really slam dunk? Well, how can I slam dunk this at B. Dalton and Walden books? Well, I'll tell you what. Off
Dalton.
your spouse.
B. Dalton. You are an old fart. B. Dalton hasn't been around for 30 years, have they?
No.
Yeah,
This has officially gone off the rails. I'm glad.
No, that was 801, AJ.
It's your segment. You're supposed to be the conductor here.
No.
Reel us in, man. Reel us in.
You lost control. Any sports going on out there, AJ?
We do.
Yeah, what did we cover?
There is one major thing this weekend. It is national, for those of you who care, it is nationals.
They're out there.
It is nationals for track this weekend.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, so I'll get a full report. I love track. It's my favorite non-ball sport.
whoa. Okay.
A ball is not involved, Jack.
So
If you're confused by that
So
definition.
sports for neutered guys? Is that what you're saying? No balls. No balls.
No.
AJ, if you're going to serve up softballs, he's going to ding them out.
Softballs.
He's gonna
Get off the balls, man.
For the fences.
I meant you know what I meant. There's
No, Jack's struggling. Jack is struggling, as are we all.
track. In all seriousness, track is probably one of my favorite sports.
Okay.
Do you
Cool.
catch a lot of it on tele? I mean, how do you keep track of track? May I
My
ask?
brother is.
Okay.
My brother is a 2-time national champion in track.
Oh, right on.
My,
Okay.
my youngest brother.
Cool.
Nice.
So he keeps tabs on it. We don't keep as much tabs on it as we used to because we used to have a friendly rivalry going back and forth. It was really cool when I'll share this quick story, I guess.
Please.
When I was a grad student at Whitewater. My brother and I are 5 years apart. So when I was a grad student at Whitewater, he actually ran at Whitewater for track. So I was able to go to his meets and stuff. So
Nice.
we're in the same conference. So it was kind of cool. We're 5 years apart, and he's actually in the. Shout out to him. He's actually in the race this weekend. So it'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, the heck with the national track thing. The big track event is your event this Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. 7 a.m.
Oh,
7
that's
a.m.
right. That's right.
The Fond du Lac.
Yeah. Was that 20 miles? What is that again? I can't remember.
13.
13.
half marathon.
Woo.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man
sir.
alive.
I'm very
Yeah, we
excited.
Got a lot of track going on. Plus that thing at Mel's, that whatchamacallit, the thing on the
Ultra
11th.
marathon.
The ultra
Oh,
marathon.
I
Yeah, we got.
forgot to mention I'll be there today.
Oh, and you're up at
Mel's.
Mel's today. Excellent. All right.
I'm
Cool.
gonna go after counseling. So I'm gonna go.
Fantastic.
Wow,
All
you
right.
had a busy morning, dude.
Right on.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
on.
Go every two. I try to go there on most Tuesdays because I'm right in the area. It's right down the road, so I'm able to go.
It's interesting with track, AJ, and maybe you can back this up. It doesn't get, on the high school level and probably at the collegiate level either. It doesn't get as much ink as like, the baseball and the sport and the basketball and it should, because the people who do that are in like titanic shape. I mean, they're just like Greek gods,
And a lot of guys now, you'll see some guys in the NFL. That's what they did in college.
Sure.
They're football and they're track guys.
Well, I know
Ronaldo
why.
Nehemiah.
I heard a rumor when I was in high school that all the track dudes seem to secretly get all the ladies. This is what I was told.
Oh, they do.
See, there you go. I was looking to see if you could be having that in your family. If you could back that up for me. All right,
Who
good.
told you that? Little distance runner tell you that one?
An exhausted distance runner. I was like, man, you've been really working out. He's like, yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Before I forget again, what would you guys' thoughts be? We have 5 minutes left or so. I was invited to a tailgate party.
Yeah.
On the 23rd of July.
Okay.
By my Aunt Cindy. And she wants us to do a live segment from Miller Park.
What is this a morning? Is this a morning tailgate? A breakfast tailgate?
It starts at 10:30.
It's a Sunday game.
Sunday broadcast. We've never done anything like that. I would be amenable to that.
You are such a big talker. You're always on saying, I could do that. Then it comes time and you're like,
as long as Jack.
Oh God, I'm not bringing all that. I'm not bringing all that equipment. I'm not all that equipment.
As long as Jack drives.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun for us to. It's mostly
it'd be legendary. It'd be legendary.
Is there what?
Isn't there a charitable component to this too, AJ? Or no?
Yeah. No.
No. Okay.
Yes, there is. They're inviting us. That's
right.
charity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's huge.
I got the email and it says, invite your radio buddies.
I've never been a radio buddy before.
I said, all right. Man.
Cool. We will talk about it. I like it. I like the idea. I mean, I'm always willing to try something different. Oh, I'm fine with it now, Jack. It's far less equipment than it used to be. Oh, you think so? Oh, you want to with the thing? And all right, well, all right. Jack's pushing me into this by getting my goat.
That didn't take much.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
All right. AJ, have a good day.
Go counsel.
Yeah, go get counsel. Get counsel.
All right.
I don't
That
counsel.
too. Fantastic. Right. We will hopefully see you tomorrow here at 8:15.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I got counsel for you.
Yeah, I got counsel for you.
Well done, AJ. All right. See you, man.
Have a good one, sir.
Well done. We'll see.
Talk to you tomorrow. Yep. Bye-bye. Yep. AJ Bikini with sports and the conduit to us doing a tailgate episode on a Sunday. We'll see how that goes.
Might interrupt with my church going.
With your church going. You step into a church, the church goes up in flames.
Yeah.
Poof. 4-alarm fire on Washington Avenue. All right. Let us bring along a 4-alarm fire of her own, in her own right.
That's right.
This is, speaking of fire, she just fires out these books. My God, they're just like... They just, another day, another novel. So let us bring out Carla Luna, Cedarburg's own author extraordinaire. It's publication day.
Yes. We are not worthy.
This is huge.
Can you hear me?
You sound great.
Okay, awesome.
You sound published.
Yes, you
Ooh,
sound
yeah.
published. You sound smooth. Did you?
What?
There it is.
Oh, I got
there it is.
There we go.
Nice story.
There we go.
Excellente. I even changed my name for you today, Carla.
Love is all you need. Oh,
No.
Troy, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Jackson Troy toy.
That's right. Love is all you need.
Can you write him into your third book as like the guy who gets jilted?
That would be so mean.
Exactamundo.
Well, that's fabulous. Congratulations. That's huge.
Very exciting.
Yes. So tell us about your book.
Well, first I have to ask: does it ever get old? Like, this is like your fifth time down the pike here, or more. So,
last night I broke down and burst into tears because
perfect.
I was the night before a book launches. I'm always kind of overwhelmed and exhausted and stressed out and like worried that no one will buy it. And my husband was really great. He's like, "It's fine, and you always do this." And this morning I woke up and I was great, but the night before I'm always stressed, so I write myself a letter. It's like. And I sometimes will go back and read the letters that past Carla wrote to fire myself up. And they're pretty inspiring. So that's what I did. I'm like, dear Carla, don't stress about this. You've done it before. But that
best always, Carla.
Stress gets a little old. Like it's hard because I worry about every little detail. And I'm a control freak. So I don't want there to be typos because I don't have I have a proofreader, but the final copy has to go. I have to read it over.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Well done. Well, that's fabulous.
Very cool.
So, what number book is this that you have published?
This is number 5.
Number 5. Wow.
Yeah. So and then coming June is going to be my 2-year publiversary. So it'll be 2 years since I started.
5 books in 2 years. 5
yeah,
books. That's awesome. That's
cool.
Yeah, pick up the pace a little. Come on. You're slacking.
Dragging your
Carla.
feet.
What the hell?
Well, I am slower now because the first 3 books I had written kind of during COVID, so I had them kind of lined up. And now that I'm writing each book as after the other one finishes, I'm a lot slower. Plus, I usually want to travel somewhere to do research, which is not a bad thing.
You need another pandemic.
No.
I like extreme measures too. Productivity.
I need discipline this summer, and so I'm hoping you're going to your author circle will
good.
help me, whip me into shape, get those chapters out for the next book.
Right on. All right. I'll glare at you frequently during the author circle. I'll give you sideways glances.
Well, tell us about the book. It's the second in a series, Carla.
Yeah. So the series is called Romancing the Ruins. It's set in the world of archaeology because I used to be an archaeologist. And the first one was set in the island of Cyprus. This one is set in Turkey. And it's set at the site of Troy, which if you ever read the Iliad for college, it's at the site of the Trojan War, where there was like the Homeric heroes, the Greek gods and goddesses, and they made a movie out of it with Brad Pitt. But anyway, I've always been fascinated by that story. I loved classics, so I decided, where's a really good place to set another book? And I thought I'll set it at Troy. And so it's a friends to lovers romance. The 2 main characters grew up together. I got the idea from watching The Mummy, actually, because I thought about if their parents were Egyptologists and they traveled a lot, and then these 2 kids got dragged along on all these digs and they became best friends. So they've been best friends forever. They're both archaeologists now, but they secretly want more than friendship.
They dig each other.
They do. They dig each other. And so
that's great.
I haven't been dug in some time. I better read this book. It'll make me feel better.
They're working with a team of American archaeologists, but there's a rival team of German archaeologists. There's a find that changes things. There's a nasty boss who's determined to get back his former glory because he was shamed in academia. So there's a lot of different moving parts, but it was a lot of fun to write.
Excellent.
Very cool.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like romancing the stone for today.
It's just updated. Not as adventurous. I will say my books don't have the full going down dark places with torches and forging through the jungle. I tried to make a compromise between fun, romance, and then actual real archaeology to go back to my roots. But there's a little bit of intrigue, so that's fun. And
very cool.
It's a big summer for archaeologists. We got the Indy 5 coming out. Indiana Jones 5 is on its way in June, so that'll be that gives your field all kinds of street cred.
Yes.
Well, except Indy's a terrible archaeologist.
Now, see here. This is one of my heroes you're talking about.
No, he's mine too. I love India. Raiders of the Lost Ark is legit one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's very nearly a perfect movie.
That scene where he crashes through that temple and he destroys all these Egyptian statues.
Oh, sure.
And the archaeologist part of me is like, what are you doing? This is horribly destructive.
Being chased by snakes. You gotta,
I get it. I
we all have our
mean,
Achilles heel.
fair. But I am excited about this movie, although I saw the clip and he does look really old. Like he's an artifact.
Well,
Yeah. we dug up Professor Jones.
Yeah.
80 and jumping motorcycles and
That's right.
Whew. Cracking that bullwhip. Did you
That's right,
did you carry a bullwhip when you were an
I don't.
archaeologist?
I
There we go. I mean,
I don't have a bullwhip. I've never been inclined to want to carry one. I've never needed one, oddly enough. When I used to dig it, nor did I need a gun. So it's kind of a mild mannered archaeologist.
No.
Carla Luna taking out Nazis. I like it.
That's right.
No Nazis either.
Germans, though. Germans.
My book are good guys. They're not bad.
Ah,
good.
okay.
They're redeeming them from the Nazi Indiana Jones stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And one of the things I did when I was writing this book, so I started last September, and then I went to Turkey because I just have to go places. And so I went there for 10 days and I got to visit Troy. And so that was really cool.
Wow. What do you
And
think?
I got to walk around the site, and they have a model of the Trojan horse, which is 40 feet tall. So that was really neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something really interesting on our Author Circle Facebook group, which is cool. A cool place. If you're interested in writing, check out the Cedarburg Author Circle group on Facebook. You don't even have to come to the meetings. You can just jump in and, keep tabs on there, and maybe eventually we'll coerce you to come to the meeting. But you mentioned that you had done a fair amount of writing before writing, and I found that really interesting. And I've been doing a little of that myself lately, which is new for me. I used to always feel that everything that spilled out of my brilliant mind was ready for prime time. And the thought of writing material that would never see the light of day was unthinkable. And you're doing that now to kind of find your characters and find your plot. Can you kind of expand on that? It's really fascinating to me.
Sure. I call it pre-writing. And what I do is before I start the book, I usually know a lot about the characters' backstory and their history. I will write some scenes of them together. This one was easy for Troy Story because they're friends. So I wrote a couple friend scenes. I wrote a scene where there's actually a botched hookup between them. I wrote a scene when they're kids and they first meet in Egypt. But I totally get into their vibe and I get a feeling for them. And then so when I start, they don't feel like strangers. They feel like people I know. And these I write in Scrivener, so these just go into little files as extra scenes. And sometimes I end up using stuff from them, but it just kind of gets me in the mood. And I'm doing that for my next book, which is going to be set in Italy, just because it's hard to start a new book because I've been so immersed in this other world that it's hard to pull myself out. But I'm kind of getting excited about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So Carla, the next one's in Italy. Are you started already on the next one?
I plotted out the basic outline, and I did go to Italy in April. I've got the basic outline, and it's easier because it's two of the characters. So in the first book of the archaeology series, which is Field Rules, Dusty and Stewart are these two people who are on that dig. They become the main characters in Troy Story. And then in the Troy dig, there are two people who are enemies. They're kind of like rivals, and they argue all the time, and they're always trying to one-up each other. They're going to be the main characters in the Italy book.
Nice.
Very cool.
So,
kind of a shared universe.
Yeah, it's a shared universe. And so you don't have to read all the books. You can read them out of order. But if you have read them, it'll be kind of fun to be like, oh, I remember those characters.
Little kernels, yeah.
From that book. And it's kind of a fun tie-in. And I usually include the characters from the earlier books in them.
So like Petticoat Junction and the Beverly Hillbillies, when they would go back, and then all of a sudden they'd be in Hooterville.
They all go
and
the Drucker store.
Yeah, Granny would be after Sam Drucker.
Or like Happy Days in Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
Mork was on Happy Days.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Joni
right.
Los Chachi.
Joni Los Chachi.
Yeah, so I like to have those Easter eggs, and so I'll usually bring in references to characters. And the fun thing too is so the heroine in Field Rules is actually related to the main character in my third book, White Wedding. So
Oh, cool.
the
Truly a
universe.
shared. You have a little MCU going on
So
over
the
there.
universe is they're all connected.
Wow.
You have Hawkman and Loki showing up pretty soon here.
Now this is my universe. Well, I wouldn't say no to Loki. That's fine.
Tom Hiddleston is ubiquitous. Cool, very cool. Well, this is exciting and great. And you, I have to ask, when it comes to marketing of these, especially this particular series, how do you? Because I would think, like, if there are archaeology students and people who are actually doing this in the field, these books would be just like manna from heaven for them. Like, look, we're in a book. We're in a book. I mean, how do you even ever hear from that world about that particular, your subgenre here?
Not as much as I'd like, and I wish I had a way to reach out. I'm a little nervous because I think a lot of archaeologists have been burned because most archaeology books, like the fiction, is their time travel or they're like super action adventure, and there's usually like treasure maps and tombs and like lost artifacts, and or else sometimes they're old school, they're like set in the 20s, or they're mysteries, and there's a lot of good books, but mine are real archaeology, and I don't know really how to bridge that gap, so they won't be like, oh, it's a romance, really?
Yeah, I suppose.
But I would love to reach that audience, and I do have a few people who have read the books who are archaeologists who've liked them, which make me feel really, really happy.
Excellent.
Excellent.
That makes me super, super happy. And I actually saw in the library that it's like this month is like Wisconsin Archaeology Month, which I didn't even know.
Yes.
There you
yes,
go.
that's true. We have a display upstairs. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I need to figure out better how to tap into that, because otherwise I just do like, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then I have an author newsletter. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to do events. I'm doing events. Sorry to say Germantown Library. I know it's a rival.
No, we're all one big happy family.
Okay. I'm doing an event in the Germantown Library in June, which will be fun. I'm doing a talk there.
June 14th at 6 p.m.
That's right. And then I'm going to be the artist in residence in July at the Cedarburg Cultural Center.
That's awesome. Wow. Very
which
cool.
is really cool. And I'll teach a workshop there about bringing your sort of past to write, using your past to write fiction.
Nice. And of course, you have a web presence. That's
I do. I just updated it this morning. I reminded myself, Carla, update your website. And this is on sale right now.
99 cents for the first book. Get you all primed for book 2.
Yeah, excellent. And then this is my first series.
There we go. Blue Hawaiian, Red Velvet, and White Wedding.
Yeah.
Gotta say it that way. Thank you, Billy.
I know. Yeah, Billy Idol.
Very exciting. Very cool. So, I mean, obviously, let's go way back. I mean, as a kid, what was more of the driver for you, to be like an archaeologist or a writer? I mean, what was the one that really?
Well, here's the funny thing. So I've always wanted to be a writer since I was 8. Like all my whole life, I wrote goofy short stories. I wrote my first novel when I was 14. It was horrible. I wrote another one when I was 16. It was really bad. I wrote an 800-page book when I was in my 20s and thought it was publishable. I made all the mistakes. But I also loved history, and I thought I'd love to be an archaeologist. And the truth is, so I was dating this guy, and I was telling him about all my things I wanted to do. And we'd been together for a while. And I was saying, I want to be a writer. And he's like, Carla, you haven't done anything yet. Like, you have to, what do you write about? I was like, I'll show you. So
I love supportive partners.
This is over. We're done.
Yeah.
I just did something. Not worried about that.
I signed up for my first archaeological dig, which was on an island called San Clemente Island in California. And I was there for 6 weeks. I lived in a pup tent for 6 weeks, worked on excavations there, and I loved it. And I was like, I want to do this again. The boyfriend was history, forget it. But I was like, archaeology is awesome.
Happy trails.
Yeah. So the next summer, I went to Cyprus, which was my first overseas project, and I got hooked. And so I kind of did it in tandem. And actually, when I was in grad school, I stopped writing fiction because I had to write papers, essays, and I was
sucking.
I was what they call ABD, which is all but dissertation. So I was going to get a PhD. Then I realized I really hate writing academic papers. Like I really hate them. It's so boring to me. I want to write fiction.
Yeah.
So I just never got that PhD, and I ended up working for a museum and did other stuff, and then I got back into writing again. But I realized like I'd much rather make up stories than write about like pottery descriptions and stuff like that.
Oh, that
I
sounds so
can't imagine
unreasonable.
why.
Yeah. What's the matter with you?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
that stuff is important and it's really valuable. All that
No,
stuff
it's not. Nobody reads that shit. Nobody cares.
it's just hard
No.
to get. Some of it is, it's just some of the excavation reports were hard to write. The actual, when people turn them into like a book, it's interesting or,
Yeah.
but it's just when you're writing all the details, it
Yeah.
wasn't as fun for me as making up characters and stories and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's demystify the process a little bit, shall we? Because a lot of people think, "Ooh, there's magic. You're a writer. You're spinning." And the fact is that it's just showing up for work,
Yeah.
like a plumber or an HVAC installer. So, can you get? I mean, and I know you have you have a family, of course, and you have another gig that you do as well. So, how do you, especially for people who have full-time work? How do you squeeze in? Where do you cram your pages? How do you make
You
it
let your
happen?
navel lint go and not worry about it. It's got things like that.
The obsession with today's episode of navels is alarming at best. But anyway,
Yes, I caught the IG Magini stuff. Our family was always more of a Gilligan's Island family.
All right, no, I
Well, he did. He worked Thurston Howell in there too. He did all right today, Jeff.
I believe Marianne's navel was also covered up. By the way,
Was it really on display? I think it was.
Yes.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I'll have to review the tapes, and I have
Yes.
them. Believe me.
But to answer your question, so I do work part time, and it's funny because you said like a plumber and HVAC guy. These guys get paid a lot more.
True.
If they show up for a couple hours, that's a couple $100. That's not how it is for a non-New York Times bestselling author, normal author. I just do it. I'm lucky because I only work part time. So on my days off, I usually schedule writing time. I do it at night. I do it on the weekends. And when I'm really, really busy, I try to get in some writing. Usually, like sometimes I'll stay up really late at night. That sometimes works for me. When I know I don't have to, if I don't have to get up early the next morning, I'll just stay up super late. And sometimes if I have like a weekend to myself, I'll just like spread out all my research papers and go. But I just kind of fit it in wherever I can. And I think the hardest part is not so much the writing, but then when it's done, getting people to critique it and getting feedback and revising it.
Yeah.
Because I always think, oh, this is great. I'm loving it. And then my people who read it will be like, oh, this part didn't work, or this character is unbelievable. And that's probably the hardest part, is doing those revisions.
Well, it's such a big part of it too, is what you mentioned with the critique is, and that's the hard. I mean, it was hard for me early on. I got better later on, but you have to be harshly critiqued in a constructive way and find someone who can do that, because that's an art nuance too. Is to just go, I hated it. Why'd you hate it? Because it did. Not useful.
Because it sucked.
Yeah, exactly. And you suck, and your family sucks, and I hate your cat. I mean, it's just like, okay, none of this is worthwhile. But if you get someone, but even that, when you're getting a constructive critique, especially if it's something that you thought was working well, and you're like, why am I disagreeing with this person so much? But these are the important questions, and to take that in and do something with it, and also maybe getting a vote of the house. So if you can get 3 or 4 trusted readers, if 2 are saying one thing, because sometimes it really is taste. I used to actually respond. I went the wrong direction when I took initial blast of critique. I was like, oh, I'll do everything they tell me to do, because that's what that's not right either. Because you're letting, then it's just like multiple cooks in the kitchen and all that sort of thing. But if you get at least 2 or 3 people who are saying the same thing, you're like, there might be something to this.
Right? No, and it has to resonate with me. Sometimes I'll write a scene or part of a book, I'll be like, I don't know. And then if somebody calls me on it, I'll be like, yep, okay. My instincts were right. There's a couple chapters in this book where I was like, I don't know if people are going to go for that. And a couple of my people that critiqued it were like, nope, we're not buying it, And so I was like, okay, now I got to do the hard part and rework it. And I'm glad I did, because I think it's so much better. But that's always that month. It's usually a month when I get everyone's feedback, because I send it out to different readers. And I just really grind away at trying to get it to work. And that is tricky. That's a tough month.
Carla, how did you find your readers?
A lot of them most of my readers are fellow writers.
Okay.
And so and they're writers I like. A lot of them, they're indie writers. And so I like their books to begin with, which is important. And I know they're good writers. And so a lot of us just swap. We'll say, I have a book coming up, do you want to beta read it for me? And we'll swap with each other. My critique partner that I meet with like weekly or bi-weekly, she's also a romance writer. So there are people I met them through different ways. I met them on like Twitter or through critiquing forums. I'm in this group called the Contemporary Romance Writers on Facebook. So things like that. But writers are good because they're really, I usually get a couple of readers too, but they're really good at figuring out like what you might have missed with the characters and the pacing. So I'm very lucky. I have about 7 or 8 that I rotate through.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it's tricky. People think that and especially new writers who just think that like, oh, I wrote a draft, I published the draft, I get my check, I write the net. It's just not. And I it's sad that people think that's what it is, because it's not like that at all.
They don't know.
No, there's so much revision, and I revise and revise, and I read stuff. And at one point, what I do is when I get into a certain page area, I print the whole thing out. I'm sorry, trees, and I read it out loud. And that's when I really catch, and I use a different font, and I catch typos that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I need a hard copy too. Of scripts when I'm I get to a point where it's just like when you're looking at the screen, it doesn't exist. It's not tangible. It's not real. And there are some writers who can do that. And in fact, sometimes I know they'll put it on their iPad, so it's at least in a different on a different device than their upright computer or laptop or whatever. But no, I'm the same. Must be a generational thing. I need that hard copy at some point.
And one thing I do too is when my book is about 2 or 3 weeks before it comes out, I order a print. They call it an ARC, advanced reader copy of my own book, and then I go through, I read the actual paperback, and I have little page flags, and I mark it up because then I want to feel what it feels like as a paperback. And how it reads, and if the chapters look good and stuff. So there's a lot of steps, but it's fine. It's something I enjoy, and it's
part of the life.
I get good feedback. I love it if a reader will ever like email me or tweet or say how I like this. I mean, it makes me really, really happy. So
right on. Well, the book is Choice Story is out today. Today is pub date, and we got we beat CNN, MSNBC, PBS. We beat them all. We got you. We got you here.
Beat the shit out of them. And
any chance we get.
News graphic are on page 2 today, Carla. I don't know if you knew that.
That's awesome. I'm so happy. I had sent an email to Christina there to see if they would be interested in doing a story, and I'm really happy that it's release day. That makes me really excited. I get the preview in my email, so I was very excited about that, and I'll have to send my husband out to get a bunch of copies today.
There you go.
There you go. Absolutely. Very cool. And what's great is that Carla is part of, like I said, our author circle, the new writers group we're doing here at the Cedarburg Public Library. So if you want, if you got the itch, if you got the bug, we have more than one published author in our writers group. Not many.
Jack and AJ.
Absolutely, not many writers groups can say that. So
that's right.
So that's awesome. And
let's ask Carla if we should, because we want to give this woman in Utah a chance to join because anyone's welcome in the artist circle. Yeah.
Oh the one who offed her husband. Yeah.
This woman, her husband died suddenly last year, and so she wrote a children's book on how to deal with grief. And then it turns out, like a couple months after it was published, the cops busted her for giving her husband a overdose, a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl. It was,
She said, "Here, have a vodka and tonic. This tastes funny." No, slam it.
This is the best vodka tonic I've ever had.
I didn't know about it.
This is a killer. So, should she be, until she's convicted, should she be allowed in the author circle?
I mean, as long as she doesn't serve drinks or anything.
Virtually only.
Is she local? She lives
in
Utah. That might be
City.
a bit of a stretch then. Maybe she could be in a Utah writers group for now.
I mean, she knows marketing. If you ask me, she knows how to market her book.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how far will you go? Well, Carla, thank you for gracing us with your presence. It's always wonderful to see you on our show, and obviously come back anytime. And congratulations on
Thank you.
You've outwritten Homer, I think. Talking about the Iliad. I think you just said, so you beat that ham bone.
It's no longer. Well, I was going to say I'm going to donate a copy to the Cedarburg Library. I'm going to drop it off tomorrow. I have a meeting there. So it should be in the library within like a week or so. So
Excellent.
you know.
Great.
It is my job to catalog it. Great. You're bringing me more work. Thanks a lot. I got to put stickers on things. Oh, good
Happy
heavens.
to do it.
Good heavens.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Carla. And
Thank you.
obviously, CarlaLunaBooks.com. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yes, that's
Yes, I
right.
did.
And happy,
Great.
what is it, Taffy Day to you?
Yes. We all celebrate appropriately. I will celebrate appropriately by not touching the stuff. So,
Yeah.
And then congrats on the Grand Marshal thing. I haven't been to the parade in so long. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't have to go.
Oh, fantastic. We'll throw copies of your books out.
Yes, candy. Everybody wants candy. That's the key. Do not run out of candy.
No,
I've
taffy.
heard 4 stories about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Laffy Taffy.
Right. If you don't have it anymore, it's like a zombie apocalypse. They just kind of claw your vehicle. You know?
They start booing you,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
throwing Mike's
Drag
hard
you off
lemonade
your
bottles at
Or
you.
whatever.
There we go. Well, check out Carla's works, and
Yes.
we're back tomorrow with more stuff on this
Okay.
year's show. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful